everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Bull City Hangout 126. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham 𝗕𝗟𝗟. That's Durham's online community paper. I invite you to check it out at durhamskyrwriter.com. So with Bull City Hangout, basically I tell you what's happening today in Durham, and then I invite you to click on that link on the Facebook side, and then join me on camera, shoot the breeze, share information, etc. So let's see. I think I'll start on the word page. Oh, got a guest here. Carl Nordgren is here. Hello, Carl. Let me make these announcements. I'll be right with you. So he clicked on the link, so you can do that as well. So let's start with the word page. Let's see. I will just make quick mentions of programs that can help you if you are in need. So the city of Durham has the eviction diversion program. If you are in danger of being put out of your house, be sure to check that out right now as soon as possible. Also, the city has the Water Hardship Fund. Okay, if you have fallen behind in your water bill, check as well. Also, the county, Durham County, they have the LEA program, the Low Income Energy Assistance Program, to help you with your heating bill. So check that out if you're in need. Also, the county has the HOPE program. That is the Housing Opportunity and Prevention of Evictions program. So there's a city program and a county program that can help you out with in case you're in danger of being evicted. Okay, my throat is so dry. Excuse me for one quick second. As you know, with it being winter, the air just seems to be drier, even though it's rainy out. Weird. Anyway, how does that work? I don't know. Anyway, so let me continue with the word page. So Technical Community College has small business center down. Everything's online, of course, so they have these wonderful workshops. Of course, I list workshops from across state. So let's see what's on the docket for today, with it being the 26th. Let's see. Ooh, a good one. Starting at 2 o'clock, there's going to be a free program called, or webinar called Dynamite Marketing on a Firecracker Budget. That's pretty cool. So that's going to be from 2 until 3 afternoon. So just sign up in advance. Beverly Mahone is here as well. So 2 guests. Okay, so just hold on. We make these announcements. Also today from 6 until 8, Tech Tuesday. Get your business on Google and how to use your Google business listing. Very important. Also today from 6 until 8, business working for artists and crafters. I need to go to that one. Introduction to the business model canvas. Okay, so check that out from 6 until 8. These are all free, so you might as well sign up in advance and attend. Now at noon, the Paycheck Protection Program, you might have heard about that. That has to do with COVID-19. So the PPP 2.0 Shuttered Venue Operator Grant Overview for Small Business Owners. Whew, that's a lot. Sign up for that. That's at noon. Okay, now let's go to the To Your Health page. That's obviously the health page. So I have your updates on where to get vaccinated for COVID-19. Also, I have your information about the test. In fact, let's see where OptumServe is today. They have been contracted by the state to administer free COVID-19 tests. So let's see, today's what, Tuesday? So they are at El Centro Hispano until 6, and they do have a drive-through service available. Also, McDougall Terrace and Oxford Manor until 4:30. You don't have to live there. That's where the tests are being administered. And at the MAC, they do have drive-through available. All righty. And I do have the health events page. Let's see. See at the top of the page there, the big blue health events button. You want to click on that and check out the support groups and special events. So let's click on it, shall we? Let's see. Today's the 26th. So the Young Adult Oncology Social Meetup is going to be today, and that is from 6 until 7:30. This is for young adults ages 18 to 39 who have cancer, so they can share and just hang out. And this is courtesy of Duke Cancer patient support program. It's free, of course. And again, it's from 6:30 until 7:30. Also today, now this is actually tomorrow morning from 10 until 11, courtesy of the Durham County Department of Public Health. They have something called Mindful versus Mindful. Okay, so this is from 10 until 11. Learn how to calm your mind and achieve balance when life gets hectic. And yeah, it's free. And again, that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Definitely check that one out. Now, you might want to sign up in advance. Where is it? This is for Black women, ages 18 to 51. Okay, the Community Health Coalition, they're hosting, now this is going to be on Thursday, the Maternal and Child Health Virtual Program. This is going to be Thursday morning at 9:30. Why am I telling you this now? It's because they have limited capacity, so they want to sign up by tomorrow at noon. And the first 20 people who sign up are 20 Black women between ages 18 and 51 who sign up and attend will receive $25 cards. There you go. So that's on the health page. And like I said, click on the big blue health events button. Okay, let's go to the praise real quick. I think there's an event there. Let's see. Ooh, this is today. Duke Divinity School, they present Preachers Dare, Speaking for God. It's going to be today at 7. I'm smiling because it sounds really interesting. So there's a gentleman named Will Williman who's written a book by the same title, Preachers Dare, Speaking for God, talking about biblical teaching and relating the gospel to the present day. That should be super duper interesting. It's going to be at 7 o'clock. And the last page we will be visiting is the calendar of events page, which is called Let's Go. So let's see. Actually, I'll tell you about it anyway. Sometimes people can tiptoe in for, late at these Zoom events. So the Augustine Literacy Project of the Triangle, they have a panel discussion, the state of education and tutoring online during a pandemic. It just started and it will go until noon. And I know Beverly Mahone is probably interested in that, even though she's obviously going to be a guest today. But Beverly, just letting you know about that. Maybe they'll have the video, available later. You can check and see with the Augustine Literacy Project of the Triangle. Okay, also going on today, the Nehemiah Christian Center will be giving away free bag lunches from noon until 1. They're on Mangum, downtown. Also, Durham Technical Community College has I've been telling you about these information sessions where you can attend, learn about certain professions, attend the classes, and go straight into a job. So today they're talking about pharmacy techs. So it's the Pharmacy Technology Information session that is today from noon until 1. It's free. Learn all about the job market with pharmacy techs. And again, Durham Tech is awesome. So again, that's at noon. New Visions of Africa restaurant, they're having their grocery today because it's Tuesday at 12:30 for a couple of hours while supplies last. So wear your face mask and have your sense of humor because people get sometimes a little antsy. The line is long. People are in need. So I'm not trying to make fun, but just have your sense of humor, because people do get, a little riled up sometimes. Okay, also New Visions of Africa restaurant, they will have their food giveaway as always from 3 until 6. These are warm meals. Again, wear your mask. Durham County Library will have Totally Teens, obviously for teenagers, at 4 o'clock. The premiere video, they have videos every week for teens, and then they debut them at 4 o'clock. Also, Durham County Library has Listen and Draw, Escuchar y Dibujar. That's for little ones, ages 3 to 3rd grade. They will be listening and drawing in English and Spanish, and that is from 5 until 6. Also, Durham County Library, they are on fire. 4th and 5th graders are invited to bilingual games, juegos, how do you say that in Spanish? Bilingües? Hope I said that right. It's going to be from 6 until 6:30. Fun for young folks, little ones, 4th and 5th graders. Of course, all of these are free because it's the library. So, the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences will have virtual trivia Tuesday. Test your current news, pop culture facts, science facts. Test your knowledge from 6 until 7. It's also free and it's fun. Speaking of fun, Marva's Fun will have her online Stay Virtual Line Dance class from 6 until 8. It's free. It's on Zoom. And then tomorrow, as always, the rabies vaccination clinic for pets, courtesy of Durham County Sheriff's Office, $10 exact change, cash only. And Urban Community Agronomics tomorrow, also known as UCAN. They will have their vegetable giveaway tomorrow from 10 until noon. Read about that on the Let's Go page. And that is pretty much, Wacky Wednesday, weekly online family fun, courtesy again, Durham County Library, tomorrow from 10:30 until 11. And also this is just almost too much, virtual fun time with Mr. Joel tomorrow, 11 until 11:30. Read about all these on Let's Go page. Yeah, it's probably the longest Bull City Hangout announcements that I have done for months. And I'm happy to see that things are picking up. All righty, so let's check the weather. It's 43. It's hazy and foggy out. And then it's going to be cloudy all day, going up to 55. Tomorrow's going up to 54 and 40% chance of rain. I can't believe I have 3 people waiting in the wings. This is awesome. Let us invite them all. Carl Nordgren, Beverly Mahone, and Guy R. Cook. Let's see what's up with my friends. 1 second. Here we go. Whoa. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you?
So I just got to say it. Beverly does a great thing on every Monday. She reads a story. And I've now put that on the dance card of something I intend to do every Monday until forever, till it ends. And so as president of the Beverly Mahone fan club, I want you to sign up. No, but it's really good. If you get a chance, she doesn't take up an hour and a half doing the story. She does it just really quick. Yesterday, she did make one error. She talked about she was challenged by weight issues. And it's actually, if you look it up, it's a height issue. Because if you're not, according to the chart, if you're not 7'4" tall, you're just too short. You're not too heavy. You're just not tall enough. But anyway, that's all I got to say. I didn't know Beverly was even going to be here, but now that I have done that, I've eased my conscience.
Awesome.
I need you to do a promo for me, so I guess I'll be contacting you after this is all over, and you can just do a great big promo for me. That would be awesome.
Oh, sure.
I didn't even know you were in on the I didn't even know you were in on the story time.
Well, I was, as I am many times in the day, a silent lurker. I was just I think I got an announcement on Facebook that you were doing story time, and I went, oh, I remember, because remember you did one the other day, and it was somebody that was a student.
Yes.
And you said, well, I'm going to do a story when a student has a story. And then I said, well, this is a book she wrote. Well, then, on that subject, you need to mirror your camera so that when you're holding the book up like you did, it's backwards when I see it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, good
Yeah.
point.
So,
Okay. Well, I'm not. Okay. Thank you for that information. I didn't know, and I'll have to ask my husband how to figure that out because I'm not real sure how that works.
well, it should be in your camera settings. Whatever camera you got, just look for the option to mirror, so that like when you're like right now, you're holding up the right hand, and it's on the right side, but actually you're seeing it on the left, aren't you?
Yes.
So it's called mirror. At least on my camera, it's called mirror. And I'm going to shut up because I don't want to keep being known as the guy that talks a lot. Carl,
I appreciate that because there are things that we can all learn from each other. So, by all means,
not just Jim Rice either. I mean, there's other stuff.
You're never going to let me live that down, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm riding that wave. Let's see. What year is this? Go ahead, Carl. Go ahead,
let's
Beverly. I'll
say
be
hi
quiet.
to Carl Nordgren because this is his first time here. Long time no see.
How are you this morning? It's great to
Doing
be here.
great.
I tried and I finally was able to make it, and I'm excited to be here. Boy, that's awesome community service that you performed to do that calendar like that. That's wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
I enjoy it. I also love hanging out with people. It's a 2 for 2 winner for me.
Well, I'm so into story. I have to ask, Beverly, what kind of stories are you reading when you share stories? What's your source?
Well, actually, this past Monday, I read an excerpt from my own book. I've written 5 books, and it was the first book I ever wrote and published 15 years ago. So I thought that would be, appropriate to write about being middle-aged, because at the time I was, middle-aged, and I was going through a lot of personal and professional things in my life. And I just started writing about it, and it ended up being a book. And an Amazon bestseller, by the way, but
a memoir.
Book, so
it's a memoir.
Well, they call them personal journey stories.
Okay.
On Amazon, that particular category.
Okay.
But I'm going to select random books because I don't know if you can see behind. Well, you probably can't see behind me, but I have so many books. Over the years, I've just collected books, and I'm just going to read excerpts from them, every Monday.
Every Monday, okay.
On my own interpretation, in my own way of communicating.
Well, you've made Guy a fan. It was quite clear.
Yeah, well, thank you, Guy. But I do want to share something with you, Pat, because you were doing the community service thing, and I got this email from a young lady who was trying to recruit my grandson, and she said if I knew anybody else who could participate, that would be great. So if you don't mind, I'd like to give that information out. Yeah. Okay, so a young lady at the University of Chapel Hill who apparently is working on her PhD is looking for young people between the ages of 13 and 24 to do a confidential online survey about their sexual health and HIV and where they go to get their health related information. Do you go to your parents, your friends? Do you go to the health department, your doctor, whomever? And if you are interested, it takes 30 minutes. And if you're interested, then you need to reach out to her. And I'm just going to spell her name. I think it's Nivedita. I'm not sure, but it's NIV as in Victor, ED as in David, IT as in Tom, A at unc.edu.
Okay, I will add that to the health page.
Please do. I mean, I believe in supporting young people when they're trying to do something. And I think she is trying to work on her PhD. And my grandson has done some things for them in the past. And so she was just reaching back out to see if that was something he would be interested in. And I have one more thing, too, and I didn't hear you mention it. Don'tWasteDurham.org is giving away free office furniture. Now, they're first come, first served nonprofits first. And they've been giving it away all week, but they have one more giveaway day, which is the 30th, which is going to be, I think, Saturday.
Okay. I didn't know this. Thank you.
Yeah, don'twastedurham.org. And they have a picture of the furniture they're giving away. A lot of it's already gone, but they still have some pieces left.
Now, do they have to make an appointment to go get it, or you just show up?
You know what? That was not clear, but because they didn't say by appointment only. It just said if you had any questions to reach out to them at info@don'twastedurham.org.
That would be good to know. I'm talking about Washington State, of course, but here, if I do anything where I'm contacting another person outside my immediate family, they've got to have a dance card position to be showing up at 10 o'clock to whatever. So that's why I was.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I will. I'll contact Crystal and I'll add that to the Skywriter as well. I appreciate it.
Okay. And the other thing too, Pat, is that I don't know if you actually do jobs, but I have.
Oh, yeah.
I used. Okay, so I used to work in my other life as a job counselor for people 55 and older. And
Mhm.
so they never took me off the jobs list. So every day I get inundated with all of these jobs, and I'm like, well, I don't do this anymore. And then I try to circulate them to people that I know that are looking for jobs, and it might fit them.
Substitute Durham Skywriter for your name.
But no.
Yeah.
But what I really want to do is, either if you would like to do them, I'd love to get those over to you, because like today I looked at my email and I had like 6 jobs, and I was thinking, I might, if I wanted to go back into the job market, it would be great.
Well,
But
You could automatically forward those emails to Pat Murray at Gmail or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And just have a trigger word, then bazinga, it goes right in there. Or you could go and set up your own free blog at wordpress.com and post them in there.
Yeah, I had thought about that, but I don't think I have enough local traffic. This is weird because most of my 90% of my followers are not in Durham. They're somewhere else in the country. So I have not developed that local base yet that I've been trying to develop for a few years.
Okay.
So Pat, I think you'll probably be the better person.
Yeah. However you want to get the info to me, I don't know if it's from NC Works or whatever. Just let me know.
Okay, I will definitely do that.
For sure. So, Carl, what's new with you? I got a copy of we were speaking of books. Actually, I met Carl because he was on Skywriter when I used to be with WNCU, becoming a creative genius again.
I like
and with the book comes a card. You stare into the card for 30 seconds and then become a super genius.
Are you a boomer, Carl?
Am I what?
Are you a boomer?
I am a boomer.
Well, I'd love to have you on my podcast.
Yeah.
Talk about your book.
Well, that would be awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll have to make some arrangements. And guys, I got to get up with you, but you don't really respond to me on Facebook like I'd like you to.
Well, I don't want to throw another log on the fire, but I got to tell you, over your left shoulder, you got room dividers. Those white paper room dividers. You can't see it on my camera, but watch this. See that edge right there?
Oh yeah.
Same. Did you get that one at what it was? Hobby Lobby, I think, is where my wife went.
My husband, they were in my husband's house before we got married. And I don't know where he got them from.
I saw those and I went, bazinga.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing. I'll ask him. I don't know.
I want to hear about this Be Creative again. After as many decades as I've been trying to turn the page.
Well, thanks for the plug there, Patricia. I've been spending most of my adult life on a singular mission of helping people appreciate how remarkably creative we are, even though so very frequently in our culture, we insist that very few of us are creative, right? That it's sort of a special gift of a privileged few. And my proposition, and the research bears me out, is that no, in fact, we are born with remarkable creative qualities. And that sort of takes us to the title of the book, right? We're born with remarkable creative genius. Many of us allow it to waft away because school tells us to not be creative, but rather be really very singular in your thinking, right? That there's one right answer to every question, and there's only one way to get to that right answer. And so we teach ourselves, or we are taught, to not be creative. Well, I taught at Duke for 14 years, and these are kids who, around the 8th grade, decided that they were never going to take another academic risk in their life so they could get great grade point averages. And so they arrive in my classroom as exemplars of the situation where we've decided, either consciously or subconsciously, to not be creative. But I see how wonderfully dynamic that creative impulse is as it grows and it flowers and it nurtures itself, because that's, that's who we are. And more than ever, that's who we need to be in these crazy, crazy times, right? Because my picture of creativity is a large picture. It includes adaptability. It includes resilience. It includes all those qualities that are absolutely necessary when we're facing a future of so many unknowable unknowns. And so it regenerates itself. And the great news is, for those of us here on this call, is I've come across research that shows that at the age of 55 and older, right around the time we're 55, our brains go through biological changes that actually can result in a creative renewal. The biological changes that occur in our brain at the age of 55 invite a creative refresh, a creative renewal. And there's 3 major changes that occur to the brain that each one of them invites a creative renewal. And in fact, all 3 of them happen in a 55 plus brain. So yeah, it's my passion. It's how Patricia and I met, was through our shared passion for helping people appreciate how important it is to be creative and entrepreneurial in their lives. And so I'm always delighted, as you can tell, to share some of that story with folks who are interested in hearing about it.
How can I get in touch with you?
Here's my email address. My first name, as you can see, is Carl, C-A-R-L. And then there's 2 words, Carl@Creative Populist, Populist, Carl@creativepopulist.com. And that email address, again, captures my essence, right? I believe that all of us, each and every one of us, need to embrace the importance of being our most creative selves. And it's a wonderful mission. It's a wonderful mission. I get to share a lot of really good news with people about a really important topic.
Perfect. Okay, well, I will reach out to you. Are you one of those people that gets hundreds of emails and then all of a sudden 15 days later you say, oh, you know what?
No, actually, I'm 24, 48 hours is the standard I hold myself to. So if you contact me today, I bet you by Thursday you'll have heard back from me.
I will. I definitely will.
I look forward to it. Thank you, Beverly. I look forward to it. And we'll also talk about our shared interest in writing, because I've published a few books besides the one that Pat held up. I've got a few novels that I've written as well. So I'd love to hear more about your work.
Okay, very good.
Cool.
My question, I had a question. Carl, do you have a backup email with Gmail or something like that? So if your domain goes down, you can still get messages?
That's my one and only email address. The one I just shared is my one and only email address.
Now, Carl, you've got a car out in the driveway, don't you?
I've got 2 cars out in the driveway.
Open the trunk and there's a spare tire.
Right.
Okay. Same thing with email.
Okay.
If you don't have a spare tire, you are off the grid. You're out of touch. You're unreachable. So only because of my web development business that I'm in, I have multiple emails so that if it ever comes back, somebody wants to order 1,000 books and they can't get a hold of you, you're gonna say, that day that guy said I should have a backup email.
Well, you're talking when I say I got 2 cars out in the driveway, it's quite possible that neither one of them will ever start. So I really get your point.
Well, yeah, but these days you don't have the need for a car like you would any other time.
Like you do for an email address. Yeah, your email addresses are more important than your cars these days. Is that your point?
Well, email is still number 1 protocol. There's 5 big protocols online, and email is number 1 still. Has been since it was invented back in the day.
Well, I bet against it. I was in a technology business at the time where it wasn't clear whether voicemail was going to be the ubiquitous network or whether it was going to be email. When email was still sort of intranets was. And I said, no, voicemail is going to win, man, because people want to hear all that additional emotion, right, that you get from your voice, the nuance, the subtlety. Whereas
the personality comes forward. Yeah.
And I was sure wrong on that one, wasn't I?
I
Well,
have a question for you,
I can
Carl.
tell you a story about pagers. Pagers were quite the rage. And somebody said, well, here's your new cell phone. I went, a what?
Yeah, well, that was me. I was lucky enough to get a terrible job in the paging business that teed me up wonderfully to get into the cellular business at the very early. So I was one of those people that said, hey, that pager you've got? why don't you pay me $5,000 and I'll give you a cellular phone instead?
Right. And the phone was the size of a shoebox.
And the phone was a big shoebox.
It's Pat's show. I guess we better let her talk.
Okay. Talking about creativity and the way life just sometimes gets hectic, predictable, and scary.
Or changes, yeah.
So my question is, especially as an older person, what would you tell an older person who wants to be creative but afraid to take that step? And the reason I'm asking that is because people were shocked. Well, after my aunt died, I was thrown into immediate abject poverty because we were living off of her pension. I was working for her. I had to stay home. And then when she died, of course, there was no money coming in and I was in danger of losing everything. So I knew that I was going to have $1,000 to play with, a little bit over $1,000. And I had to think of something, I had to save the house. I had to eat, pay the bills still. And I decided to, because I love music so much, I know an awful lot about music, I decided to do something insane. And I invested in DJ equipment and became DJ 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. That's what saved the house. And now I work regularly for the city and the county and for other people, but that was out of necessity. I don't know what anybody else would have done. Maybe they would have signed up for public aid or something. Not that, I probably should have done that, but I didn't have any paperwork. But anyway, I was willing to take the chance to do that and it paid off. But I don't know if everybody would have done that. So what would you say to people who are like on the precipice or really need to do something creative, but they're afraid to take that leap?
Yeah, so I think I might have heard two different situations. If we're talking about somebody who is, my gosh, what an amazing story that you just told about what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
And so if you're talking about people in that sort of situation, right, where they're really on an edge, that might have one answer that might be different than somebody who is living that comfortable life that has looked around and saying, hey, I'm bored and I'm, I've got a lot of years, still left to live. How am I going to invigorate myself, to become more creative in the time that I've got left? Because the answer to that second group, I would have a two-part answer. It would be both appreciate the power of the increment and have fun, right? Don't believe that all of a sudden you're going to have this extraordinary creative blooming in your life, but rather with a sense of fun and a sense of play, begin to just explore how you can be a little bit more creative in the food that you cook. Explore how you can be a little bit more creative in the walk that you take. Find ways to do the things that you normally do in a contrary way. Right, just bring that different kind of look at your life differently by doing things differently. Well, there's research behind this that if you spend 3 or 4 days in a row with the determination that you're going to identify a task and do it radically differently. Right, I'm going to brush my teeth no longer with my right hand, Greg. I'm now brushing my teeth with my left hand, although it looks like I'm. If you do things like that for 2 or 3 days in a row, there's all kinds of research that shows that all of a sudden you begin to take a more creative view of the things that are going around you, because the status quo is the biggest impediment to creativity, right?
That's right. And
so you've just had 3 or 4 days in a row sort of kicking it in the butt a little bit. And by the time you've done that for 3 or 4 days in a row, you're going to be surprised that you have this new perspective on the life around you. The other scenario that you identified that you lived, of needing to all of a sudden come up with a creative expression because the wolf is at the door. Boy, that's one that I feel almost like humbled, to try to respond to that one, because that's just a tough one. And I think also very circumstantial oriented, right? Each one of us would come to that moment with different resources and with a different history and with a different need. But But what I still believe in this notion of the increment, right? When we're faced with a challenge, we are our most ignorant about that challenge at the beginning, right? We are our most ignorant at the very beginning of the challenge. And so we should avoid believing that we can make a commitment, we can make a decision about what it is we want to do. Instead, we should just make small incremental steps. Once again, the power of the increment. Just take the small incremental steps addressing this problem, this crisis that you're facing, so that you become smarter about it, right? So that you become smarter about it. And then another thing, and I hope these don't sound like platitudes, but another one to share, you've all heard this one before, right? Is if you can take on the approach that this problem is an opportunity, right? Can you see problems as opportunities? And you can see a problem as an opportunity, that will also open your gaze. But I'm going to bet that both Guy and Beverly have got some thoughts about how to bring forth their creativity. I mean, I'm sure I've never faced anything as dire as what you faced, Pat, but I have faced personal crises.
I wanted to jump in, though, because there's two things I just wanted to point out. And I definitely want to hear what Guy and Beverly have to say about this. But there's two things I wanted to point out. I know people who need money. You know, I don't know too many people who are just super comfortably well off. But I know people who have talents that they could be making money from, but they don't seem to... They need to do it, but they don't seem to think that they're good enough to do it. Or I don't know what the problem is. They're not doing what they're talented at. And then the second thing that happens, very often people listen to others and they do things because I used to be a member of some DJ chats when I first started out. I needed to learn DJing, of course. And so many people saying, "Ooh, well, I'm 38. Am I too old to be a DJ?" And I was in my 50s.
Right. Can I just jump in and say, I mean, because you said a lot, Carl, that I agree with, but I think to me, it's very simple. Your fear meets your passion. Your passion overtook your fear. So while you going down this road of destitution or whatever, you're facing your fears, but you're also facing your passions. Your passion is to be a DJ. So that passion overtook that fear. The problem, I think, with most people, and I'm not a psychologist, I think people's fears overtake their passions. That's why, they always have these excuses about, well, maybe I'm too old. Maybe nobody would be interested because they don't, or maybe I don't communicate well enough. Maybe I don't do this. So I think when passion and fear meets the road, those who really want to, like you, passion overtakes you. Most people, fear overtakes them.
So what was the first thing you did, Pat? I mean, you just now said that you reached out to other communities of experienced DJs, but because that's one of the examples I might give is I've got this little phrase, find friends fast, right? When you're beginning to create a project, find friends fast. And because for a lot of reasons, right? They know something about what you're looking to do that you don't know. They'll hold you to your standard, right? If they're truly friends, they will be they'll be in this nice feedback loop with you. Well, they will hold you up to the standard. They look at things from different perspectives. They'll know different people than the people that you know. So that's maybe a specific tip that is consistent, Pat, I think maybe with your experience is to, when you're faced with that kind of challenge, look, who can I talk to real quick that will uplift, that will be knowledgeable, and then I can do something for them, because that's just a wonderful quality of generosity, right? Is when I'm generous to my friends want to be generous in return, and what a wonderful creative dynamic that gets, that sets up.
You keep a Rolodex.
A really nice guy named Mike helped me out. I was able to borrow his equipment. I was able later to find him gigs and vice versa. So we help each other out. So Max also helped. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I didn't have my finger held up. That's okay. The rules are you go like this or this if you're, depends what political influence you have. Anyway, what I was going to say, I agree with Carl 100% about find friends fast. That is, you find the resource person because you can't do it all. Okay. Like if Beverly wants to put flash titles on the top of her story time to do the captions in a different font, I know a person that can do that because I kept up with and stayed in contact with what I call resource people. So if I need that level of programming skill to do that task, I can get it done. If somebody comes to me with a great big huge web project, like the University of North Carolina says, we want to do this and this, I can be the quarterback in that huddle, but I've got players in India that are really good programmers, and because it's in India, they work for pennies on the dollar. So you can get it done. So finding your friends fast, I 100% agree with that. I was going to say the main thing, and what Pat did, I think, is what I'm doing, is you take what you like doing and you sell, well, that's my job. But the truth be known, I haven't worked a day since 1995 because I just like doing this stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. If somebody comes to me and says, well, how do I alphabetize the blah, blah, blah? I want to fill out this COVID vaccine form, but it's a PDF file. Can I edit that and just type my name in instead of writing? Sure, you can do that if you got the tools. And so I just show them the tools and bazinga, it's done. Oh, who's Patricia White and why isn't she in here?
Hello, Patricia White. Good morning. Good morning. Happy to have you here. She's on the Facebook side.
Oh, that's because you're in StreamYard. You get contact or comments from everybody. Okay.
Yeah, comments from YouTube.
I'm going to bail out. It's nice meeting you. Beverly, if you want to do that story time dance or whatever, fire me an email. It's guyrcook@gmail.com. It's easy as cake. It's no harder to remember than any famous Boston Red Sox baseball player. Carl, there was a day, Carl.
I know who Jim Rice is, so
yeah.
On that ballot,
well, some people forget his name. It's just I won't throw anybody under the bus.
Beverly, you are on mute. You're on mute, Beverly.
Your lips are moving.
I'm sorry. I hate that you have to leave because I would really love to hear your response to this guy. But
okay.
I do want to also say something to you, Carl, about this. And I mean, I hate to always. I don't always hate to interject race because I do think that has everything to do with everything. So, you said something about, how we, move forward as we, in the increments and the whole 9 yards. But here's the thing I think, too, is that the advantages that you would have at 55 are not the advantages that I'm going to have at 55. Now, yes, I do have a plethora of wonderful friends, because I, spent 30 years as a journalist, so I can always reach back and, connect with somebody. But changing careers and doing something different, I may not have the resources that you have. So the struggle for me is really real.
Yep.
And, oftentimes I believe that we as African Americans have to fight 3 and 4 times as hard in order to try to achieve half of the success that you could achieve. So, that may also play a role in why so many people at 55 in our, race anyway, may not want to because of all the obstacles that they're going to face. And they're going to face 2 and 3 times the obstacles that you're going to face.
No doubt. It's 2 things about that, Beverly. Thank you for bringing that candor to this. That's one of the reasons I sort of hesitated to talk about people in dire situations, because me in a dire situation would be very different than you in a dire situation. And
that's correct.
I appreciate that totally. And that, again, was part of my hesitancy. The other response I want to give is that my mindfulness of what you are and my mindful of what you are talking about right now is such that, gosh, how do I say this? A partner and I started a new business just a week before COVID hit. We realized we had to change what we were planning on doing because of COVID lockdown. And we spent our first 2 months learning what we wanted to do with our content by reaching out to the RTP YMCA and doing free webinars on Saturday morning. We did 7 of them to 50 high school kids in the Leitner Youth Development Program. It's a mentor leadership development program named after the first African-American mayor of Raleigh.
Right.
And so this is a mentor program for children of color. And it has informed the founding of the fact that was the first thing my partner and I did has informed our business, right? That's now in our DNA. That is now part of the mission of our company, is to attend to exactly what you're talking about. I got confused by Barack Obama being elected president, and I bought into the fact that America is now a post-racialist country. I believed that for a couple of years. I confess I believed that for a couple of years.
I need you to meet a friend of mine named Jean. She believed it too. Okay.
Yeah. So I realized that how wrong I was as soon as I saw the country's reaction to the fact that we had elected a man named Barack Obama as president. And so I was born in Greenville, Mississippi in 1951, and I have a deep appreciation for the truth of what you're saying, Beverly. A deep appreciation for the truth of what you're saying. And I will do what I can when I can to assist you in making that less true as time goes by.
You need to be on our Zoom call for sure.
I got to shoot, but 1951 is when I was born, so that's another commonality.
I'm July, guy. What month were you?
I was September.
I'm older than you are. All right.
Yeah. That's something to think about, though, Carl. You know, because the big 7-0 is coming.
I'm there soon.
Yeah. Okay. You guys have a great day. Have
Okay,
2 of them if they're really good.
Nice to meet you, guy.
See you. Bye.
All right, Guy. I'll see you on Monday.
All right.
See you soon.
Okay,
Awesome.
so as I was saying, Carl, is that every month since July of last year, I've been hosting conversations about racism, where I have recruited random people from across the country, people I've met online, people that I know personally, all coming together to discuss the issues involving social and racial injustices, as well as anything that is like currently like current events with the insurrection that happened just recently and the transfer of power, et cetera, et cetera. And Pat, don't you think he would be great?
I think so for sure.
Yeah, I think he would be great for the call. So I will send you an invitation for the next one. And you don't have to participate. Like I said, it's just random folks. You get an opportunity to be a part of our little tight-knit community and just to say what you feel in a safe space.
I would look forward to it.
The next one is supposed to be February 6th because I wanted to kind of have love as the theme for Valentine's Day, but I don't know if you can put love and racism together. I'm not real sure how that'll work, but we're gonna figure it out.
Well, love and color.
Love and color. Love and color. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go.
Love in color. Did
Yeah.
you say love in color? I like that.
Yeah.
Or in color, even better than and. Yeah.
Love in color.
Yeah, love in color. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good
Okay,
one.
Pat, you're just so you're definitely gonna be on the call then. You're the one who came up with this. Perfect.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
Carl, I did not know that you're also a novelist. So Beverly,
Yeah.
are you, your other books, are they novels?
Novels? No, I don't write anything that's novel. I don't think I'm that creative. I just don't think so.
Carl.
I was going to say, you got me challenged now, Beverly.
Uh-oh.
Give me a half hour and I will help you appreciate that you're extraordinarily creative.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's right. I said I'm not that creative. Oh, no. I'm very creative in some
You're
spaces.
supposed to Stare into this card for 30 seconds.
Right,
That'll make me creative.
Yeah, actually, that's what it is. It says to boost creative performance, stare at this green card for 30 seconds, and it works.
So it's green. So what does the color green have to do with it?
The researchers, it's University of Munich research, and they tested every color, the impact of color on creative performance. Red, blue, yellow, gray had no impact. The people who stared at the color green for 30 seconds had a 25% improvement, 25% improvement in their creative performance. And they don't give the theory as to why it's green. And so I love speculating on why it might be green. And my first thought is that you look out the window wherever you are in the world, and the color of growth is green. Right? Everywhere in the world, the color of growth is green. And so let's break that down a little bit. And like the most fundamental biological process on the planet is photosynthesis, about creating green. Right? And so green, and now somebody else has pointed out to me that our eyes actually can see more degrees of green, more hues of green than any other color.
Interesting.
So within that world of speculation, I feel comfortable, that somewhere in that explains why it's green. But the researchers themselves don't share a conclusion as to why green had the only impact. But I was still teaching at Duke when I came across this research, and I said to my students to get their attention, I said, a 25% improvement in your performance, that's like taking a B- to an A+. So twice a day, I will stare at the color green. When I read about the research, before I made a green card, I went out and bought myself a green folder. And if my office is filled with green folders. And so twice a day, I will stare at the color green, both to get that biological change, but also to remind myself that I'm going to be creative today, right? It's an act that I can take that just triggers my memory that throughout the day, I want to try to be as creative as I can be in everything that I do. So
who knew?
Usually I have a green shirt on when I come on these things, and I forgot to do that today.
Well, I have two of these. Carl gave me an extra one when we had our radio interview, so I have it hanging in my kitchen. I punched a hole on it, and I hang it in my kitchen next to my window.
Back in the day back in the day before COVID lockdown, when you could still wander into each other's offices, I was so delighted when I would wander into somebody's office and I would see their green card posted next to their computer. So
I don't have anything green in my office. This is terrible. I'm looking around. Yeah. I have a lot of red. Because red represents vibrancy in my life.
Yes.
But I really don't have any green. I'm like, where's my green? Wow. And I have a green jacket, a green Disney jacket, but that was like from many years ago.
If you get the book, you also get the card, though.
I'll have to do that. Yes, I will have to do that so I can get some green.
Design the color is to be green. Is we're making you creative before you even open up the book.
Wow, that's amazing. Listen, I do too have to run because I have a meeting with my website developer. We're creating a new website design for my new website that's going to be popping up.
Ooh,
Carl,
nice.
I am so honored to have met you.
Well,
and there may be some collaborations in our future. I certainly hope so. I am to work with young people, so perhaps we can think of something to do together.
What age group are the young people that you work with?
Well, it started out as college students.
Okay.
And then a mom of a college student wanted me to work with her middle school students.
Okay.
And while the middle school students are wonderful to work with, they are a challenge. And then I had a woman who wanted me to work with her. I mean, like a woman in her 40s.
Okay.
So now I've got a wide range of people that I'm working with, and I've got to figure out the model for doing that, because I don't want to be all over the place, because every age group learns differently. A mom in her 40s, she's a challenge because in her 40s, she should have gotten it in middle school. So, it's all
Never too late.
no, it's
Never
never too late. And I'm the person to help them. So I'm just
There you
trying
go.
to figure it out.
Well, this new company that I quickly alluded to is actually, we'll be launching our first product maybe on Valentine's Day, and it's a product for high school and college students. So when we get together and talk, I'll be happy to share with you a little bit about what we're doing in that world if you're interested at all, Beverly.
I certainly would be.
I would
I'd
look
love to
forward
do
to
that.
I would look
Thank
forward to
you.
that. Thank you.
All right. And I'm going to send you the email today.
Great.
And we'll set up the interview. Pat, this is wonderful. I mean, I always know when to come on your program because every time I do, I come back so enriched with some information to move me forward. Thank you
so much.
Patricia's a living embodiment of finding friends fast, right? But that's what Patricia.
Finding friends. Yes, how about that? Yes, you've proven. All right, bye, guys.
Thank you, Beverly. Nice to meet you. And I'll be off in a minute or two. So.
And actually, Carl, I actually signed up to attend a seminar at noon, so I have to go too. But I want you to come back.
I will.
Because you told me that you had some ideas, some business things you were doing. You just alluded to it. So please come back so we can talk about it at length, okay?
Well, the other idea I'd love to tease you all with at some point is an idea to think about politics in a different way. And so if that's something that maybe we can pick up at some point, I'd be happy to share some of my crazy thoughts in that world as well.
I love politics. I'm from Chicago, where politics is a major league sport.
Well, that's where I moved to after Greenville, Mississippi. So we've got that in common as well. Right, I was right outside Chicago. Yeah. So look, thank you, Patricia. This is awesome to do this for your community.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care, Carl. I'll talk to you real soon.
Real soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. Take care. All right. Boy, that was super fun. Wow. I really enjoyed that. Woo. So yeah, I invite anyone who wants to talk and hang out to just join me one of these days. It's so easy. Just click on the link and just hop on. So anyway, let me go because my webinar starts in 3 minutes and I don't want to be late. So you have a beautiful day. Be sure to read the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. Also watch TV Skywriter. It's on the Patricia A. Murray YouTube channel. Also, you might be able to scroll back on the Durham Skywriter page and find her. Talk to 𝗕𝗨𝗟 𝗪𝗪 about e-gaming, esports. He's with Bull City Gaming. So check that out as well. And I will see you tomorrow at 11. Have a beautiful day. Ciao for now. And thanks for stopping by, Patricia.